I try to live a certain way because boxing is what I do. It's not who I am. So like Verge said, I don't put on a cloak before I come into press conferences, before I do an interview. It's just me. Am I a perfect individual? No. But do I try to live a certain way? Because at the end of the day, this is my focus. In the midst of everything that's being said, in the midst of everything that's going on, ultimately, I do this for an audience of one. God, who gave me the talents and the gifts that I have. And that's what one thing that my pastor reminds me of when he reads some of the stuff. He says, Dre, don't get caught up in that, man. So that's my motivation. It's internal, it's personal, and it's not something that's put on. It's just who I am. Do I look at my performance honestly, each from fight to fight, and say, man, I should have did this, I need to do this? Absolutely. And Verge is, if anybody pushes me and tells me, you still got more left in the tank, I'm like, more? He's like, you got more. He said, you can settle at being a good fighter if you want to, and you do all right, or you can be one of the best that ever did it. And that's where the bar is set. So I'm not going to come out of myself in terms of, abandoning what I've learned over the last 15 years in this sport to try to answer one critic, but we're always looking to get better. We went from 0 to 60 pretty quick, with getting in this tournament. We either had to put up or go home, and I didn't want to go home. One loss, maybe two losses, and we were out of the tournament, and, we would have had to regroup. Yeah, if you don't have that competitive fire in your belly where somebody hits you and you want to get them back inside the ring, you're probably in the wrong sport. It's got to be something in you that wants to get back and, show that you belong at the highest level. And I feel like I have that because that's exactly what goes through my mind when I get caught with a shot. It just, kind of feels like it's never enough. It's always some work to be done. And, I've always kind of had this mentality. Verge, my coach, my father, they've always approached, we as a team have always approached boxing like that. Even as a young kid, I would win a tournament and we'd relish it for a week and then it's right back to the gym. As a young kid, you don't really understand that, but over the years, I've understood. It's not time to rest on your laurels. It's not time to get comfortable because, even beyond the Super Six, beyond Lucien Boutte, there's some young guys training right now, and they're watching me saying, I want to fight him one day. So I'm very cognizant of that because I was that one guy one day preparing for the champion and realizing that I'm going to get my shot one day. So it's just not time to relax until we hang the gloves up and officially retire. It's easier probably to be the hunter going after the belt and having the chip of being an underdog, being the young guy going after the champion. But once you get it, for some reason everybody's looking at you. Fingers always getting pointed at you. I want that guy. So it's a different kind of pressure. But the key is just to stay focused, continue to do what you did to get to that point. And then if you do that, you'll be fine. Arthur Abraham was one of the biggest punchers in the division. And I got caught clean a couple times and, it was fine. I was able to battle back. So that's always good for, especially a young fighter like myself, to be in that situation and prove to yourself that, man, I do have what it takes. And then on top of that, I was able to fight a different kind of fighter, a difficult fighter, a crafty fighter, a former champion who defended his title at middleweight 10 times. To be able to get that name on my resume, man, it gives you a lot of confidence moving forward.